Hi there everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Prestige Liquids. My name is Andrew, and as always it is fantastic to have you here with me again on another whiskey review video. Now, in today's video I am going to be reviewing not one but two Starward whiskies. Both of these are the Starward Lagavulin Cask edition, but one is the original version, which was bottled at 48%, and this one right here is the cask strength, which has been bottled at 55%. Now, with these whiskies, they have used their red wine aged cask whiskies and matured, or not fully matured, but finished them off in ex-Lagavulin casks for 18 months. Now, I'm not too sure how old these actual whiskies are. It's going to be at least a minimum of 2 years. If anybody does know the actual age of these, please drop a comment down below. Now, I've got two glasses, two bottles of whiskey. The first one, the 48% version, I will pour into the amber glass, and the cask strength will go into the Glencairn. Before we get started, for those that are interested, I'll show you the box as well that it came in. So they both came in these kind of like special display boxes, like so. It's got the cutout for the bottle inside as well, if you care about such things. But yeah, some nice presentation there. So moving on to the review, I guess the breakdown will be like this. I will nose them both side by side, and then I will taste the standard 48% first, and then move over to the cask strength. So, all right, let's get started. On the nose for the 48%. So it's quite rich, very fruity. There's a little bit of smoke that kind of wavers like in and out of the notes. I mean, considering that they've used like ex-Lagavulin casks, I think you would expect that smokiness to be a little bit stronger. I think the smoke influence on the unexpeded ranges has been a bit stronger in comparison to this, but we'll see how it develops. All right, so we also get the typical Starward banana. I'm getting apple, also some like white peach, a little bit of tobacco, dark chocolate. There's a bit of a grassy note as well. Mango, pineapple. It's very fruity, and then it just has these gentle waves of smoke that comes in and out. Slightly oaky, quite a bit of vanilla and caramel as well. A little bit of a black pepper spice as well. Alright, let's move on to the cask strength. So the cask strength, 55%. That's what we have here in the Glencairn, and let's see how we go. Okay, so far it's quite similar. Obviously just more punchy. You're definitely getting more of that higher ABV element coming in, so you do get those, you are getting like those vapors of the spirit coming through. Just trying to find if there's anything overly different. I think on this one I'm noticing a bit more of a cereal grain. It's a bit more malty and a touch more floral. There's some gentle like lemongrass notes that I'm getting on this one. Alright, let's move on to the palate, and we'll see how we go for the 48% version. So cheers. It has a really nice strong kick to it. Beautiful syrupy and dry mouthfeel. It's very prickly. It just it's almost like a chili pepper. It just keeps like biting at your tongue, and then the whole salivation starts to start. I think this is where the Lagavulin casks really come in now. This is where you notice all those, the higher smoky elements, that the dry ashy notes, that nice burnt wood, yeah, like a very nice toasted oak. You have all of those same similar fruity elements that I mentioned on the nose. All of those are coming through, but everything's a lot more. Everything is a lot more toasted now. I'm also getting things like toasted almonds and cashews. There's a bit of a macadamia nut element coming through. The chocolate and the tobacco flavors are more enhanced as well. The vanilla and the caramel are still there, but they're a bit more subdued than what they were on the nose. More of that smoky taste is kind of overpowering those notes, and you are getting that more peated influence coming in. But as that peat kind of dies off, then that Starward banana definitely comes through. You will notice it, especially if you are familiar with Starward whiskies. Finish is quite long. It definitely lingers, and you still get all this. It's like you're breathing smoke. I'm getting all these nice wafts of smoke just coming up, and again, just intertwining with those fruity elements. All in all, this is a absolutely beautiful whiskey. I think at the 48%, again, perfect level. If you want to play around with it and water it down, you can. You will get more out of it. But let's move along to the cask strength version and see what we get for the comparison. All right, let's see how we go. Cheers. Well, so again, I'm still surprised. Now, considering that this is stronger whiskey, the 48% actually hits a lot harder in terms of that alcohol prickle and like those overall spiky notes. This one is actually more approachable, funnily enough, and not something that I typically expect of a cask strength whiskey, but again, something that constantly surprises me as to how approachable some of these higher ABV whiskies can actually be. You have all those nice toasted oak, all the smoke elements. I'm finding that the oakiness on this one is a little bit softer, but the smoke influence is actually higher. I think on the 48% one, they were a bit more even. On this one, they're a bit more contrasting, but I feel that the flavors actually blend a lot better having that contrast. The vanilla is a lot more forward on this one than in comparison to the 48%. So if you do like a more smoky vanilla kind of flavor, I think this is definitely going to be a lot more enjoyable for you. Again, those fruity elements are still there, same as what I was getting on the nose. And as before, with the 48% version, it has more of that toasted element. So again, think like along the lines of that toasted oak, again with that nuttiness to it as well, that toasted almond, macadamia. I'm actually enjoying the way those peach flavors are coming through. So I think on this one the tropical element is a little bit higher. So again, I'm noticing more of the peach, a little bit of mango and pineapple. The lemongrass note that I mentioned on the nose for this is definitely there as well as the Starward banana characteristic. That's pretty much always something that's there at all times. The finish on this, again, it's softer, but again, it's very well balanced. You have all those smoky elements that still make themselves present, and overall I think the flavors that I'm getting on the finish again are a lot more balanced. Now, I was lucky enough that I was able to get the cask strength version. When I went into the ballot for this whiskey, it was only for the original 48%, but then a few people were also granted access to the cask strength version. Luckily I was one of them, and normally I would kind of turn the offer down because The bottles themselves were quite expensive, but I thought, you know what, stuff it, I'm going to spoil myself. So I ended up getting both versions to be able to do this comparison. If I didn't have the cask strength version, I would say that the 48% one is an absolute beautiful whiskey, and it is a very enjoyable whiskey. But being able to compare them side by side with the standard and the cask strength, I think the better value does lie in the cask strength version. It takes all the positive aspects, I think, from the 48% version, and it just balances them out even more. I think the overall, and that's what it comes down to. It's the balance of the flavor profile, and I think in the cask strength version, that balance it's on point. It really is. The 48% version, it's a lot spikier, a bit more prickly. It has that edge to it, whereas the cask strength, again, it is more approachable. I personally find that it is definitely a much more friendlier whiskey in comparison. Again, having said that, if I didn't buy the cask strength version, then I wouldn't know any different, and I would still be just as happy with the standard release. I think that's pretty much all I have to say about these whiskies. I think if you have been able to try them, please drop a comment down below. I would definitely like to know what you have thought of them. If you have been also able to try the cask strength version as well and compare the two, I would also like to know which one you enjoyed the most. So yeah, my name is Andrew. I'll see you all again on the next video. KIPPIS. If you have not yet done so, please go ahead and check out some of these other reviews that I have done. I'll see you all again next time. Bye bye.